Hello there, welcome back to another video, and today we are back again with another Clone War series. And today we are going to look at dupes of popular Creed fragrance Silver Mountain Water. Now, a lot of you had requested for a comparison between two fragrances, and I've been trying to get at least some budget alternatives for Silver Mountain Water. So in this particular video today, I am going to look at three, and the whole quest started with this one. This is the signature Privé Zara from the from the house of Privé Zara. This is called the Barcode Signature. It kind of looks like this. This is the most low cost one in this particular segment. And then you have the Shaikh Zayed White, which is kind of looking like this. Okay, so it's a nice 30 ml volume that I have, and then I have a decant of the most popular Silver Mountain Water dupe, which is the Silver Shade from the house of Ajmal. Okay, these are the three dupes that I have, and I could not include the two other popular fragrances from in this category, which is the Rasasi's Al Wisam Day. I could not include that, and Armaf Siaj, because the price points of those two fragrances are about 2,500 to 3,000 rupees, and quite definitely the quality is much higher when you compare these three alternatives, when you compare those two, right? So keeping that in mind, I thought let's compare these and tell you what are the differences, which one should you get, and what are the cons of this particular fragrance, right? So let's get into this review. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. If you're new to this particular channel, on this one channel here, we do give you Middle Eastern reviews, we offer you comparisons, and even also bring up Indian houses as well, right? So if that is the sort of thing that you kind of like, then definitely hit the subscribe button and the notifications icon. And without much further ado, let's get into this review after this quick intro. Before we actually get into the review of the three comparisons or the three dupes, let me give you a quick recap or a scent profile walkthrough of Creed Silver Mountain Water. Now, Creed Silver Mountain Water is a very popular citrusy green type of a fragrance among people because of its good citrusy, zesty, non-spicy element, along with a good amount of sweetness, and then of course a little bit of that lovely sandalwood that is there, right? Now, a breakdown of the note profile would actually begin with the top notes, which include a citrus element and then a mandarin orange. So you have a bittersweet citrus element with a good amount of zesty, juicy orange, and this is supported very well in the heart note by the beautiful tea note that is there. Now, the tea note is quite controversial here in this case because it can go two ways. It can swing both ways. If you don't like it, then I will talk to you about what can happen if you don't like a green tea note. But there is a green tea note, okay, which will bring out that herbal type of a vibe. This is also supported with another tart element of plum. So there is this blackcurrant that is also available on this fragrance, which is similar to the one that you will find in Creed Aventus as well, right? So there is the tartness coming from the blackcurrants. Then in the dry down, this is supported by the base notes, which is basically musk, sandalwood, but two other elements here, petite green and galbanum. Okay, so that is the scent profile or the note structure of the fragrance, which will lead you to a very beautiful, refreshingly zesty, sweet, sour citruses supported by a green herbal type of a green tea element with a little bit of a blackcurrant. Then the dry down is supported by a creamy sandalwood, but at the same time you have galbanum and petite green to give you that green fresh grass kind of a vibe, but at the same time you also have a little bit of a citrusy bitterness. So there's a lot of bitter, sweet, spicy type of an element coming in this fragrance, and that is what makes this perfume very, very good for summers, and also a little bit repulsive at the same time, because the tea note, if not blended correctly, can cause you a bit of nauseating effect, and that is something that I will talk to you about, because there is the citruses, there is the orange, and then there is the green tea note coming, and then there is petite green and galbanum, which is also bringing out those bitter elements. All of them together give you a little bit of that nauseating effect, because of the green tea is not a very smooth kind of a note. Now, when you think about tea notes, if you think about fragrances like Elizabeth Arden's green tea, or if you think about Louis Vuitton's Imagination, there the tea note is blended more with the citruses, and it doesn't actually have any of the bitter elements, so it's a little nice. But the tea note, when blended with a little bit of those juicy citruses and supported by a little bit more of those bitter elements, can go a little bit like a nauseating thing. So that is the con side of this particular perfume, which is basically the Silver Mountain Water. Now, having spoken about this, okay, let's talk about the 3 dupes that we actually have. Okay, so the 3 contenders here are the first one that I was talking to you about, which is the Barcode from the house of Privé Zara, which is the Paris corner house. This is the lowest, costing 100 ml that you kind of get. This is at about 1500 rupees roughly, so within that price band you should comfortably get this. Now this of the 3 that we were talking about today is my least favorite one, because this I felt is lower in terms of its the balance that is there between the citruses and the green tea note. This is lower in that. This is lower on the sandalwood part of it. It's lower on the sweeter element as well, and all of these leading to the performance, which is also quite lower on this one. You do get an average of 3 to 4 hours in my opinion. That is also quite high, is what I would think, especially outdoors. This kind of goes off really quickly. Now this is made popular by some sellers claiming that this is the best alternative of Silver Mountain Water out there, which in my opinion definitely is not the case. This is the least closest or the least one that you should consider if you're looking at a budget friendly alternative of Silver Mountain Water. All right. Now the next one we'll talk about is this. This is the popular one that I kind of really like. This is the Shaikh Zayed White. Now this is the same brand which actually makes the other popular fragrance, which is the blue, which is basically the Deer Swatch alternate. Now this is really good. Now this is absolutely beast mode of a scent, because this is screaming those citruses and orange. Then it also screams very high on that green tea note. Then it's also got a good amount of that bitter element, and the sandalwood vibe that you get is also very nicely packed. The musk is heavy on this. So what happens is, when you put more than 6 sprays, I for the first time felt very nauseated about a citrusy fragrance on this one. Okay, now the reason for that is because of the blend, like I said, because the green tea note makes that kind of a vibe. I'm not a very big fan of green tea. Probably that's the reason why I kind of don't like that so much. But otherwise, it's a refreshingly sweet, bitter, green, herbaceous, musky, bitter fragrance that you'll absolutely enjoy, and this is super in terms of projection. Now the 6 sprays, if you do, it actually projects for about an hour to hour and a half, and lasting is between 7 to 8 hours easy. If you're indoors on apparel, you will even find it after 11-12 hours as well, going to next day, which is the kind of type of beast mode performance that you get in Shaikh Zayed Blue. So very high quality, high quality of lasting that you get, loud projecting type of a fragrance. But this has got a con or a flip side. The flip side is availability. Very difficult to find the 100 mls. Definitely, not easy to find in India as such. I got this as a partial from somebody who was selling, and I think this is part of the 6 fragrance set. There is a 30 ml 6 fragrance set that you get, where you have 5 or 6 of them, and if you buy that, and I think somebody was selling off that set, and that's how I was able to get this. So that's one way to get this. But this I think that set is about 3,500 rupees roughly. For that price point, I think you get about 6 fragrances or 5 fragrances that you can absolutely try, and I think all of them are beast mode scents. So from that point of view, if you are able to get your hands on the Shaikh Zayed White, especially the full one, that will be fantastic, because that is super value for money. Now that leaves us with the most popular and the oldest dupe out there, which has been the Ajmal Silver Shade. Okay, now I have a decant, and this has been with me for more than a year's time. It's really nice, in terms of how it's done, because Ajmal being Ajmal, the quality is very nice. So it's a lot more smoother when compared to this. Now the Shaikh Zayed White has got a little bit of scruff white, edges, so it's a little more sharper on the corners. It's not the most smoothest alternate out there. This Ajmal Silver Shade is definitely a lot more smoother, well-rounded, and a decent balance of the screaming oranges and zestiness along with the green tea. This one leans a little bit more towards the green tea and a little bit less sweeter but more spicy. Now I would like to say that all 3 of them are very sweet fragrances, and bitter at the same time. This is the least sweetest. This is just about the right balance, and the Shaikh Zayed White is the overly sweet and the overly loud one at the same time, right? Now with this, I do get good performance. You get a 4 to 5 hours to 6 hours type of a performance. Indoors you can get a little longer. Projection is good, 45 minutes to 50 minutes of good projection that you will definitely enjoy. overall, this is a very refreshingly beautiful scent profile, and I think if you look at the value for money, this is easily the best value for money, because the price point of it is also relatively lesser than if you think about the Shaikh Zayed White. Okay, but overall I think they're all pretty similar in terms of their price points, but I think you do get a good dupe when you think about Silver Mountain Water in Ajmal Silver Shade. Even today, I think it's a very, very good one if you are not able to find the Shaikh Zayed White. All right. Now, what kind of a fragrance is this? This is a beast mode summer fragrance. The scent profile of Silver Mountain Water is beast mode, loud, sweet, bitter, herbal, and woody at the same time, with a good amount of musk. But because of the bitter elements and the green notes and the tea notes, it's a very unique green, refreshingly beautiful type of fragrance that you can enjoy this summer, especially at a budget price point. If you're looking for a very loud summer fragrance, when you think about fragrances like Theorem, Atlas, Calf, which are loud fragrances, but then if you want a nice citrusy, herbal, green type of a mixture to that fragrance, then definitely Silver Shade or Shaikh Zayed White is a good alternative to consider, right? So that is what I thought about the three fragrances, and if you kind of like this kind of a video, hit the like button, subscribe and share, and I will see you on another one. Until another time, take care. Bye-bye.